Although if you find yourself a regular here, your support would be appreciated to help keep this fine repeater system on the air. If you'd like more information about the Qrz repeater system or membership in the radio club, go to their website at cara.radio, C-A-R-A.radio. Check-in will begin in just a minute. Okay, so to join us in tonight's net, all you need to do is check in with your call sign, name, and location if you'd like. We'll go a couple of rounds. The first round is a chance for you to talk about what's on your mind or how your day went. Second round, we'll discuss a topic. So if you have a topic, let us know. If not, we've got a few loaded up. Once again, announce your call sign, name, topic if you'd like. We'll start check-ins by groups. First, we'll go with our data modes, Echolink and All-Star. If you're out there on Echolink and All-Star, we like to bring you in the front end of the net. Some latency issues where it's kind of hard to get onto the net if you're competing with RF frequencies. So let's go with our data side, Echolink All-Star. Come now, call sign, first name.
Well, City, Mike Loeffler, Nevada, Sandy Radio Corporation. Back to you.
Got you in there, Mike. Kk6 Lpp. Sounds like Echolink is back up and running. We're having a problem with it this morning, and it seems to be in good shape. So thanks to the powers that be that are monitoring Echolink for straightening that out. So good check-in, Mike. Got you clear. Anybody else on Echolink or All-Star, come now. Okay, very good. Let's get our distant stations. LA and Orange County, we'll get to you in just a second. Let's go distant stations. So anything outside of LA or Orange County, say San Diego or Ventura or Riverside, High Desert. Let's stretch the legs of this repeater, see how our propagation is tonight, see if you can make it in. Now remember, you can check in to participate, or you can also check in to just let us know you're there. Just say on the side or just listening tonight, and I'll jot your call sign down, but I won't call you during the rounds. So once again, distant stations, come now. Call sign, first name. On the side.
Good evening, Jeff and the group. Kilo Golf 6 India, Yankee November. Bruce in San Diego on the side.
Okay, very good. We had a little bit of a pileup there. I heard two stations checking in. I got Bruce. First of all, I got Bruce, Kg6 IYN, sounding good in San Diego on the side. And then two other stations were checking in. So the other two stations, let's see if we can give it a try and see if we can get you checked in. Come now, call sign, first name. N6RP, Robert Fontana on the side. N6QAP, Mark Grand Terrace. Heard you guys that time, Robert, N6RRP. Do I have the call right? That's correct. Okay, very good. N6RRP, Robert, on the side. I got you marked on the side. And then Mark. Good evening, Mark. Sounding good tonight. Maybe you got your antenna turned around the right way. N6QAP, sounding fine tonight. Thanks for checking in. One more time for distant stations. Come now, call sign, first name. Sounded like somebody was trying to check in. Give it another shot. Here's a new category for you for check-ins. How about visitors and newcomers? Somebody who's out there listening maybe has been sandbagging and just listening to the net. If you got a mic sitting there, just grab that mic and throw out your call sign. Let us know you're out there. If you want to just continue to listen, let us know you're on the site. So all visitors and newcomers to Kara Net at 9, please come now. Call sign, first name.
KN6 JAH Alfredo from Santa Ana on the side.
Ki6 FBQ Jerry in Riverside on the side.
KN6 Echo Mike Steve from Griffith Park.
AJ60 Curtis in Apple Valley in the high desert on the side and listening.
Very good. Visitors and newcomers right now. And I got Alfredo, you checked in. Very good. Great to hear you out there. KN6JAH. Jerry, AI6FBQ, got you on the side along with Alfredo, both of you on the side. Thank you for checking in tonight. Good to know you're out there. I also got a Steve, KM6EEM. Steve, good evening. Are you on the side or are you going to participate tonight?
I'm going to be on the side as well.
Very good, Steve. Thanks for letting us know you're there, and you got a great signal in the repeater. All of you guys do. And then I got another one. I think it was AJ60. Is that correct? And I did not get a first name out of Apple Valley. AJ60, please correct me if I've got your call wrong and let us know your first name.
Very good. Yeah, the first name is Curtis, and AJ60, you got it right. I'll be on the side and listening.
Well, good evening, Curtis. Thanks for checking in with us and letting us know you're there. We've got you on the side. Hope you enjoy the net tonight. We have a guest speaker tonight. Hopefully round 2 will be an interesting round. Maybe we'll gain some knowledge. I know I probably will. I'm certainly no professional or knowledgeable, that terribly knowledgeable about round 2 subject, but that's okay. It's okay if the NCO learns too. Very good. So let's check one more time for visitors, newcomers, anybody out there just sandbagging, want to check in, throw your call sign out, let us know you're there. Please do so. Come now. Call sign, first name.
N6MG. No. Did I miss LA County?
No, sir. We're throwing a new category out there called visitors and newcomers. Haven't got to LA and Orange County yet. I'm going to throw you down anyways there. I'll get you on the list right at the top. N6MG Milt. And writing it down right now. Thanks for you. You're checked in for Net at 9. All right, let's see here. Let's go ahead and one more time for visitors, newcomers. Come now.
Good evening. This is Kk6 Lpp. Andrew out of Long Beach.
Okay, very good, Andrew. Kk6 Lpp, is that correct?
That is correct.
And Andrew, are you going to participate tonight?
Yeah, until I get a little tired. I got to work in the morning, so sure, why not?
Tell you what, we'll call you on round 1 and round 2. If you're getting some shut-eye by round 2, I get it. We'll just move on, but we'll just throw your call out there anyways. Thanks for checking in. Is this the first time you checked in, Andrew?
Yeah, copy that. I'll listen to you at work once in a while if I'm able to, and then I'm not working this evening. I'll be working in the morning, so I just turned on the radio.
Oh, very good. So thanks for checking in with us. First timer, congratulations. And and welcome to Net at 9. It's open to all amateur radio operators, newcomers, and visitors, non-members, and members. So we appreciate your checking in. Let's go ahead and take L.A. County. I've already got N6MG Milt. He's on board. Anybody else? L.A. County, come now. Call sign, first name.
Kilo 6, Echo Uniform Hotel, Rick.
Kk6 Lpp, Paul.
Okay, so I got Rick, Kk6 EUH. Good evening. Nice to have you on the frequency tonight. And Paul, KC6 YEV. Is that correct?
Correct.
Paul, is this your first time on Net at 9?
I believe so. It's the first time I came in on this net, yes.
Very good, Paul. Thanks for joining us tonight, and welcome to the net, open to everybody, and look forward to chatting with you. So here's how the net works, just for the first-timers that are out there. You're going to hear me call for a category like visitors and newcomers or L.A. County. And I'm gonna stay quiet and listen to you guys check in. I'm not gonna come back during each check-in. I'll wait for 3 or 4 of them to go by, and then wait for a pause or a silence, and then I'll come back and read off what I've got, so you know how it works. The second thing to know is during the QSO, if you're chatting with us on Net at 9 here, and you're done with your comments, please throw your call sign out so we know that you're done. That's a courtesy to the NCO here, so I don't step on you, and maybe you're on a handheld and lose the repeater for a second, and I'm not coming back in. So throw that call sign out at the finish of your QSO. Very good. One more time, L.A. County, call sign, first name. Moving on, we'll go to Orange County. Orange County operators, if you're in Orange County and you want to check into Net at 9, now's your chance. Please come now. Call sign, first name.
Hello from Garden Grove, Kf6 Lex, Chris.
Kilo Bravo 6, Tango Kilo Alpha, Jim and Tustin.
Okay, so Orange County, I've got Chris, KF6 LEX, Jim, KB6 TKA. Any others, Orange County, come now. I thought I heard Jerry out there, but maybe not. Jerry, are you out there? KD6 JBL? Okay. We've got checked in. Codes. So let's, if you're out there and you want to check into Net at 9, any way you can get to the repeater, anywhere you are, any area that you're at, now's your chance to check into Net at 9. Whatever you got, tin can and a string, flash your lights, shoot off a flare. No, don't shoot a flare off. Give it a try. Come now, call sign, first name.
TC, Tom from Tustin.
Okay, got you in there, Tom. Thanks for checking in. Let me check to see if we've got our guest tonight. Kk6 David, are you out there?
Yeah, roger that. Jeff, this is Kk6.
Okay, very good. So we'll check in also, Kk6 and let's see, one more time. Anybody want to check in the net at 9? Open check-in. Please come now.
KM6 OJB, Joe.
KM6OJB Joe, got you in there. Thanks for checking in. All right, we'll get the ball rolling here. We'll check for more check-ins in just a bit. First up, we've got Kk6 ULC Mike, Laughlin, Nevada on Echolink. Good evening, Mike. How you doing? Kk6 ULC Mike, Laughlin, Nevada, over to you.
Kk6 ULC here, somewhat. I'm going tomorrow to a specialist to my throat and my tongue. Just to talk. So
Sorry about that, Mike. We got the front end. You ID'd, and we heard you were going to a specialist, and then we lost the audio. Try it again.
right, let's see if I have that. I see the bar moving. And I got something wrong with my throat and my tongue. My tongue looks like it's been chewed on by a crocodile or alligator or something, you know. And it doesn't look very good. And it hurts to talk. That's not very good if you like talking on the radio. So they're sending me, I'm going to not a dentist, but I can't remember the name of it. Some with a P, a podiatrist, because I have my foot in my mouth all the time. I'll find out what's going on tomorrow. Hopefully it's nothing real bad. Kk6 ULC, back to Dandy Radio Corporation, a.k.a. Radio Shack.
All right, we got you that time, Mike. And good luck with the recovery there and fixing that thing up. And if they are sending you to a podiatrist, I would make another phone call because I don't know, maybe they'll fix it, but we'll see. Thanks for the check-in, Mike. Let's keep this rolling. We got Bruce and Robert on the side. Up next is QAP out in. You're out there. You're 90 miles from the repeater. I think you're telling us your QRP. You've got 5 watts going into something like a 13-element Quaggy. Good evening, Mark, and 6 QAP. How you doing?
Good evening, Jeff in the net. 73 to all. Best wishes. Hope everybody's doing fine. Prayers for my dear friend Mike in Laughlin. Being a retired dentist and seeing things, get that fixed right away, I'd say. Go get it fixed. My son, he's a medical doctor. He's a surgeon in Minneapolis and Park Nicollet Hospital. And He uses Skoal and smokes, of all things. Reset. Yeah, David. Kj6 VAK, I think that's his call sign. I've told him not to smoke, told him not to use Skoal. It doesn't help with your tongue and, whatever. But anyway, go get it fixed. We're all concerned for you, Mike. Speedy recovery. Reset. Busy day today. I took the dog on a 2+ mile walk. I know 84AL, Doug in Oceanside. He must carry his phone or pedometer or whatever around all day because I don't record the extra steps when I'm working. So I was doing a lot of backyard work today and worked on the pool and got rid of some boysenberry vines and just leaves. My next door neighbor's got this big pine tree, and so I've been cleaning up these pine needles. I hate pine needles. They come in there. They're everywhere. Reset. Anyway, after doing that, I finally got around to sitting down and looking at the ARRL small book for the extra ticket, and I'm trying to wade through those circuits and things. They're not exactly easy, but anyway, I'll hang in there and keep doing it. I think in 2 or 3 months, I've told my son. He checked in with me earlier. He said he wanted me to look at some stuff, and I said I'm busy, and I'll probably take the test next year. Reset. My dear cousin over in Loma Linda, he tried 3 or 4 times to take the test. I think it was the 4th try that was a charm. So anyway, I'm looking forward to taking the test. I've taken a lot of tests over the years. Funny part about it, when we started dentistry in Loma Linda, they said, we'll show you how to take tests. And they said, we took a guy in off the street and let him pass this medical test, try this medical test, and we told him how to do it. It's if there's 5 multiple choice, pick the middle one. If you see something that you might know, go for that. If you know that this and this and this, cross them off, and go with your best guess. Don't second guess. Anyway, they found out that the guy could get at least about 50% on a medical test, high. So anyway, reset. So sorry for all the ruminating there. I'll go on the side here. My pooch is on the sofa sleeping. Maybe that's what I should do. Go to bed earlier. Anyway, I'm going to stay up a little bit later and study for this thing. And I think I'm going to join the Repeater Association. I look on Kara.radio. Anyway, it's very reasonable. I think I'm going to join you guys. I've always wanted to sign into this thing. So, thanks, Jeff and Nanette. Best to everybody. Sorry for the long bloviating. N6QAP, clear.
Hey, very good, Mark. No problem whatsoever. Good to have you on tonight. Sounding good tonight. Yeah, good idea. Check out the Kara.radio and click the membership button. Pretty self-explanatory. You can take care of everything right there on the website. Good deal, and good luck on studying for your extra. I know that I've heard many times that it's best to just take all the tests, consecutively, because they all have a little bit to do with each other. So good luck with getting back into that and your studying there. We've got quite a few check-ins from first-timer check-ins. We've got Alfredo on the side, KN6JAH, Jerry AI6FBQ, Steve KM6EEM, and Curtis AJ60 or O in Apple Valley. Thanks for checking in, guys. We've got you on the side. Certainly, if you have a comment or want to jump back in, just throw your call sign out. We'll come right to you. Up next is Milt, N6MG. Good evening. How was your day?
Evening, Chris, and the net. I'm sorry, Jeff. Geez, I don't know who I insulted. N6MG returning. Let me get out of that. Not a lot going on. Messed around today with some projects. Visited with Jim just a little bit, and AJ6F, John just a little bit, and also with David. Let me ask you this, Jeff. Call sign of Mark. What is Mark's call sign?
Okay, so Mark's call sign is N6QAP, Quebec Alpha Papa.
Okay, thank you. Just talk time for half a sec. Mark, I'm going to send you an email with just as an ARRL approved tester. I'm going to give you a few clues. So at any rate, that was it for today for me. I just don't like this 4:30 in the afternoon and it's getting dark. 4:15 or so. Got to go put my hoodie on when I'm working out in the shop. But if that's all I got to complain about, I'm doing pretty good. It was interesting to note. I sat down. I thought I was running late, and I just turned on radios. And I had Catalina on 220, on 2 meters, on 2 different radios. So I guess the dial's set in the right place. Any rate, back to you, Jeff, and I look forward to David's presentation. Kk6 TRC in the net, N6MG.
Yeah, very good. We do have a guest speaker tonight, David, Kk6M, and we're going to chat about kind of what you're talking about getting somebody's call sign and being able to send them an email and communicate offline or off-air with them. Very good, Milt. Thanks for checking in. Next up, we got Andrew, Kk6 Lpp, first-timer. Good evening. How you doing tonight?
Good evening. Doing pretty good. Just sitting at my desk typing up an article. My schedule flips to the type of work that I do, where I'll be working days and then could work nights, or I'll work nights and then go to days. And I'm not working tonight, so I'll be working in the morning. And I was prepared to stay up all night, so I'll be probably up a little while and then get a couple hours of sleep, and we'll get up nice and early to work tomorrow. But other than that, I've had a great day.
Okay, Andrew. Well, thanks for checking in, and thanks for your comments there. It sounds like you're a busy guy and did a great job on the check-in. Just throw your call sign out there at the end. Let us know you're finished up. That'll help us out in the future. Stick around for second round. I'm interested in sticking around myself. I'll be hopefully learning a few things about call sign lookup. Again, Andrew, have a good evening. Rick, Kk6EUH, good evening, and what's going on in your world?
Thanks for the net. I guess the only thing that is maybe of note, went and did some marketing over the weekend and got the eye-opener when I saw that bacon was up over $12 a pound. Sort of knew that the increase was coming, but a little shocked at the amount. Anyway, there's maybe a market in there for some folks who travel out of state to make a few bucks by buying out-of-state bacon and bring it in for friends. Anyway, that's about it. Messing around with some small radios without too much success, and that's try to find time for it and not having enough time to do it right, so I'm still working on it. Kk6EUH.
Well, I don't like hearing that news. $12 a pound for bacon? Is there a pork shortage?
The report I read was that California has imposed a requirement on pork producers as to how their farm facilities have to be set up. And most of the, if not all of the pork producers out of state don't have the finances or the time necessary to implement to comply with that. And so the only bacon that you're going to be able to get, or any other pork product, I think, in California after January 1st is going to be pork that is raised in California. And the report that I read said that that only supplies 20% of the California demand for bacon. So the price will rise until the demand has dropped to match the supply available. And I imagine it'll go even higher yet, because right now I think it's an issue of maybe trying to sell off what's left, and the supply is already dwindling. Just my guesses, but that's what I picked up. Kk6 Lpp.
Well, you heard it here right on Net at 9. Buy bacon futures, I guess. Wow. And I suppose then after January 1st, all the bacon we're going to be eating is going to be happy bacon. I don't know. But thanks for the report there, Rick, and it's too bad. That's a lot of money for one of my favorite things in the morning. Very good, Rick. Let's see how Paul is doing. Kc6 Yev. Good evening, Paul. First timer, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. I hear this net all the time, but I've never checked in too much. I've had people tell me come over and check in, but I never checked in. I'm usually on when I do check in, I'm on Keller Peak on the afternet party. I don't know if you ever heard of that one, but I'm usually there. But I'm doing pretty good. I do repair for a living, so that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm kind of finishing off a few radios. So I'll let Net continue yours and Net, and you guys have a fine Net. Kc6 Lpp.
Oh, very good, Paul. Where are you coming to us from, Paul?
I'm coming to you from Echolink. I can get into the RF side, but you guys don't seem to. I seem to not be able to get in this side on over the hill. If I was on top of the hill, on top of Hacienda Heights, I could see. I got a straight shot to Catalina, but I don't have a straight shot from where I'm at. I'm kind of in the hole right here, Hacienda Heights.
Okie dokie. Well, you got a nice signal with your Echolink, not chopping up, so sounds like you got a good internet connection there. And thanks for checking in, first timer. We appreciate you here. Welcome you back. We throw this net out Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Hence, it's called Net at 9. And we've got 4 or 5, 6 different operators, and spices it up a bit, and they all bring their own flavor to it. I do it 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, very good, Paul. And stick around for second round. We'll see how it goes. Let's go to Chris, Kk6. No, Chris is not KK. Chris is Kf6 LAX. Good evening.
All right there. Hi there, Jeff and the group. A special hello to all the first-timers and newcomers. Good to hear you there. And QAP Mark, that guy they pulled in off the street there and, got half the questions right there and passed his medical test. I think that's my doctor. That's Dr. Vinny Boombatz. And then he's been taking good care of me, so thanks for that. Good to hear it. JAH Alfredo. He's one of the guys over there on Keller there. He's been super busy renovating his house there, painting and patching. Surprised I had any energy left to check in, but I guess with the time change there, he's got to knock off early. He had time to check in there if you can ever get him to actually participate. There, Jeff, he's got some great stories there. I could listen to him all night there. LPP Andrew from Long Beach, if you're still around. I'll send it back to Jeff. But Jeff, send it over to Andrew. I'm curious if he's coastal Long Beach or if he's more inland there near the El Dorado Park. I was able to catch him on the input with a good signal. And glad to hear that the Kk6M will be guest speaker. But if I had known you'd had such a big shot at guest speaker, I'd have worn a clean shirt tonight. TRC from Kf6Lex.
Yeah, I got all dressed up myself, so very good. Let's see what Paul has for us. Or is it Paul? No, it's Andrew. Kk6 Lpp. Long Beach on the coast. You're booming in on the reverse for Chris. What's your location?
This is Andrew, Kk6 Lpt. Yeah, I'm a proud renter on Bluff Park. So my front yard, I can see the Queen Mary and get a beautiful ocean view. This is Kk6 Lpt.
Well, there you go. I hear you clearly on the reverse also. So we simply can go simplex in the future if necessary. Chris, any other comments? Does that answer your questions?
Wow, now I'm jealous. That's a sweet location there. Great signal there, Andrew 73. Back to a net control, Kf6Lex.
Very good, Chris. And Chris is also an NCO here. Does Wednesday? Let's see. You do Wednesday and Friday, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. And does a fine net. I always enjoy listening to his net. Let's go ahead and go to Jim, KB6TKA, Ruston and Tustin. Good evening, Jim. What's going on with Jim?
Good evening there, Jeff and Annette. Not much. Just working on a project. I got to take it apart a little bit. Not too happy with it, so I want to make it look, super good there when I get it done there. So, boy, I won't be able to wrap my corn and bacon or make my Anaheim chili poppers and wrapped with bacon. What the heck am I going to do? Darn. Well, I'll have to save up my lunch money, I guess. Oh, well. But other than that, not much going on, so let's see. I'll make it short. Oh, a short joke. KB6TK, back to the net.
The check-in and stick around for second round. Let's go to Tom, W6ETC. Good evening, brother. Tom is my brother, and just wanted to throw that out there. Good evening. How you doing? What's going on in your world tonight?
Hi, Jeff, and good evening to everyone on tonight's net, especially to the new operators on Fortnet at 9 that identified themselves. Special welcome from being part of the team here of Net Control Operators, or NCO. That's kind of the guy that first started this, and now we have a great team of Net Control Operators that are out there volunteering their time and their energy and their creativity to make this net possible. Jeff joined the team really quick in the beginning, and we've got some great operators, some very experienced operators like David, Kk6 coming up, and Milt, and many others, Chris and others who make this thing happen. It's their effort, their care, and their consideration that really make this thing a continuous success. So thank you, Jeff, and thank you to all the other operators that are continually making this thing interesting. And I'll just give it back to that. W6 ETC back to Kk6 TRC.
Okay, very good, Tom. Thanks for checking in, and stick around for second round. On the list, I've got Kk6N Dave. We'll come to Dave in just a second. He's going to be our second round guest speaker, and we're going to dive down a subject that I picked up on this morning listening to Net, and Dave agreed to shed some light on that for us. So, Dave, we'll get to you in just a second. Let's go to KM6OJB Joe. Good evening. How you doing?
KM6OJB. Good evening, Jeff, and everyone on the net. So first thing I want to do is apologize for this morning. I kind of did a little rant and rave, and with the frustrations that I had as an earlier ham than I already am. Anyway, today, currently we have, let's see, what do we have? 54 degrees outside. This morning was 40-something, I forget exactly what it was. And about 9:30, the fog rolled in. And I don't know where it rolled in from, but I'll tell you what, it covered everything. And it stayed that way for quite a bit. Helped my wife get more frustrated with the scrapbooking thing in the new PC. Having to learn PC all over again after being away from it for over 10 years. And it's a little bit of a challenge, especially with this new Windows 11. And so anyways, we've been getting very upset with the computer and the way things have not worked the way we expected them to. Anyways, about 2 o'clock, we decided to go for a walk. We managed to get 3.5 miles in, and after getting home, took a little break and then ran off for an early dinner. Today, I guess, was fried chicken day, and everybody was having specials on their fried chicken sandwiches. So we went to Farmer Boys and got a really good fried chicken sandwich. That avocado, that bacon, that's going to be more expensive than it's worth. That was my timer. Avocado, bacon, lettuce, tomato, sesame seed bun, and fried chicken. It was good. Went over to Best Buy to see if they can't help us a little bit, and they really didn't fix anything that they didn't give us the information we were after, and I think it's something to do with the way 11 operates and their file management. Anyways, we figured out something that seems to be working. KM60JB, back to Jeff.
AJ6F, late check-in.
AJ6F, got you in there. And John, good evening. We'll get right to you. Let's see, OJB Joe. Yeah, fried chicken sandwich. You got me thinking about that now. It sounds like you had a nice, tasty lunch. And $12 a pound for bacon. I mean, think about that. That's like what you pay for, you can get, a T-bone for less than that. You can get, what is that? That's filet mignon prices. Depends on where you go, of course, but good Lord. All right, John, AJ6F, let's send it over to you. How you doing this evening?
I'm great. Good evening, Jeff and Nanette. You obviously haven't been to a grocery store lately. Filet mignon's up over $20 a pound at a Simple Stater Brothers. It's crazy what's going on with beef prices. $12.99 a pound. Well, I don't eat that much bacon, so it's a lot more economical than the filet mignon. So I guess I'll just have to figure out how I pay for my bacon habit. Let's see, finally got, I think, everything pinned down for my design for my 64-to-1 in-fed half-wave 80-meter that I'm building. So I've got almost everything on order, and as I get that in, I'll probably not do anything till the weekend after next, because this weekend I got to take my antennas down. I'm getting the termite guys in to come kill some termites. Other than that, look forward to the topic tonight and hearing David. AJ6F, back to the net.
Well, you've got one of those Traeger barbecues, I think, and I think we're all going to get good at smoking our own bacon and curing our own bacon. Perhaps. We'll have to pull a net on that one. Thanks for the check-in, John. Good luck with the antenna. I'd love to hear all about it when you get it all tested and put up. Let's see if there's any other check-ins to Net at 9 before we start round 2. Come now, call sign, first name.
N3HLC, Andrew.
Okay, I got Andrew, N3HLC. Good evening. How you doing? And tell us how your day went.
It's pretty good. I'm out here working on over in Latigo Canyon in Malibu, working on a friend's ranch, and I don't have any. There's no electricity out here, no running water, and I just have ham radio. So that's what I'm doing. Just working with horses, and you know, it's nice out here.
Well, welcome to the net, Andrew. Sounds like you might be a first-timer, and it sounds like you're like on perpetual field day out there. No water, no running water, no electricity, and it must be nice. I'll bet you kind of enjoy it, don't you?
Well, I do. I don't have any cell phone reception, so that's where, you know, I don't really talk on the radio much anymore, but, you know, when you don't have, when there's no, you know, when you got nothing, ham radio is, that's, you know, you're out camping and it serves its purpose. That's what it was, you know, intended for.
Very good. Well, stick around. We're going to have a little chat about what to do when you want to look up a call sign and get in contact with another operator. And tonight we have a guest speaker, David. Let's see, Kk6N. I don't know how I went brain blank on that one. I hear him all the time. He's an awesome guy, a great teacher, has a huge amount of information that he does share with us. He's very into the hobby and has quite a resume. Tonight we're going to talk about QRZ lookup, or you know, looking up another ham and trying to glean an email or a way to contact them. So imagine you're having a QSO with another ham and you want to send an email. You try ARRL and you get the basics, but not necessarily an email. You need to be a member to join to get any of the good information, and ARRL has a membership fee somewhere around $50. Anyhow, tonight let's explore some of the other platforms that accommodate communications between hams, like QRZ or you know, ham radio or reference guide, ham radio lookup, those kind of things. We have David, Kk6M, tonight, and I'll send it over to you, David. Good evening. Tell us how you're doing, and maybe discuss a little bit about what you were talking about this morning about the different platforms that are available to us to communicate with each other. Over to you, David, Kk6M.
Well, good evening, everyone. This is David, Kk6M. I've been a member of CARA for quite a while, and certainly check into the net at 9 in the morning on a regular basis. And I know the voices that I hear tonight, and I certainly feel right at home here with you guys. So this morning, it just happened that I wanted to email a couple of the people that I was listening to on the net. So I went to qrz.com and looked up their call sign, and lo and behold, they didn't have any information there, not even an email address. So I wanted to just talk to you guys about that just a little bit. Certainly this is not a presentation, but more of a discussion, and certainly I just wanted to open the door for those that were unaware of the value of qrz.com. Now, you may ask me, what is qrz.com? Well, it's basically a database. There's several of them out there, but it's probably the most well-known of all of those call sign lookup services. And basically what they do is they skim the information that the FCC has on a daily basis. And so anytime a new call sign becomes available, it creates an account, or it creates a page for that call sign. And what's displayed there is the person's name and address that they have put in when they registered for their call sign. All that data comes from the FCC and is public information. Now, some of you may be worried about security of where you live and all those kinds of things, because it's available on the web in all sorts of ways. You know, you can search by name, you can do all kinds of things to find people. And I don't really believe that we can really hide that well. If you ever have any kind of social media presence, if you have, a job, if you have an email address, if you have any kind of public records, they're all accessible if somebody really has a mind to find them. You can just search by somebody's name. You'd be surprised what comes up. So, thinking that you can hide is really not an option. But, when you register your call sign, it used to be that we had to put in the station location of where you were operating from. And it seems like today there are people that use the P.O. box. And I've never seen an amateur radio station operate out of a P.O. box, but I guess that's kind of what happens sometimes in the database. Currently, if you look at my call sign or Jeff's, Kk6 TRC, you'll see that he has an email address there, the Yahoo account. He also has a little blurb there about himself. So, I find it very useful. So what I do with QRZ is anytime I have a conversation with somebody, I usually have the PC open, and I just click on the link of their call sign, and it gives me all kinds of information about them. If they've taken the trouble to go in and update their profile. So what I want to discuss here is the value of doing that, of actually creating a profile in QRZ.com as individual operators. So let me break here and let's make sure that you can hear me okay. Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, we got you there, David. And tonight it's Jeff. I know it's confusing. We're brothers and we sound alike and totally doable. But no, we got you real good, and we're listening with open ears. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jeff. I know I know the difference between you two. Okay, so what is QRZ? Well, at the minimum, it's a database with call signs and addresses of the holders of a call sign. Well, there's a bunch of other things that QRZ does and offers also. It also has a forum. It has a swap meet. It has an online log. So if you want to log your contacts, QRZ is an option, an online log, and it's free. I don't know about that. The basic service of QRZ is free, but there's levels of service that you can purchase. I have a premier account on QRZ, .com, but there's very reasonable options. Now, the main tool that I use it for is to communicate with other hams and to find out more about them. So, say I work a Japanese station on HF, and I go to their QRZ page and I see their huge antennas, and I see also that they're motorcycle riders and they have other hobbies. Well, when I'm talking to that person, I can mention those things. Or if I'm talking to a gentleman in Ohio and he's really deep into bass fishing, and I can see that from his QRZ page because he has some pictures in there and he's talked about it, I can bring it up. It's a way to maintain a conversation. And likewise, when you open your QRZ page or when you create your profile in QRZ.com, you can also add other hobbies and other interests. You can list your station equipment. You can do all those kinds of things. And one of the main things is put your email address in there. So it's very important for me to be able to contact other hams that I've been talking to on the air. And the only way that I can do that is to go to their QRZ page and see their email address and then email them off a thank you for the QSO or some other, pertinent information that I wanted to pass along to them following, a conversation that I've had with them on the air. So sometimes, questions come up or they ask a question or you ask a question and information needs to be passed back and forth. So how do you do that? You don't want to ask for somebody's phone number over the air, but you go to the QRZ page and there's the contact information. So I just wanted to bring that to the attention, especially of the new hams. I guess my radio's reminding me that there's a timeout here on my radio. All right, so I think Jeff, that can be a point of discussion as we go around for round 2 to see how many people utilize QRZ and what do they put there. For me, I put pictures of my shack, I put pictures of my antennas, I talk a little bit about my experience as an amateur radio operator for over 40 years, what I've done, what I like to do, and kinds of things like that. And so when somebody looks me up, they have kind of an idea a little bit more about me than just what they hear on the air. So I think it's a great tool, and I encourage a lot of you to take a gander at it and possibly update your profile a little bit. And it changes over time. Over a year or two, you may want to improve things. Change your pictures, update your station, all those kinds of things. And definitely put your QSL information in there. When I work DX stations, I'm looking for their QSL information. That's an absolute must. How do I work that? I work that Mongolia station, CUC, and I wanted a QSL with them. Well, I find out that it's only direct, and all the post offices are closed in Mongolia. Because of COVID. So what do? Well, I have to wait. But there's other people that have QSL managers. They have all kinds of other ways that they can let me know how to, complete my QSL with them. So that's another very important aspect of QRZ for me when I'm working DX stations. Anyway, Tom, I'm going to send it back to you, and thank you for running the net tonight. It's been really interesting listening to all the folks here. I'm kind of curious on what their take is on using QRZ. I'm a very active user of it because I work a lot of DX, and I use it very, very frequently every day. All right, back to you, sir. This is David, Kk6M.
Okay, David, so you bring up a lot of good points. This is Jeff, Kk6 Tango Romeo Charlie, and you're listening to Net at 9 Wellness and Support Net. We're chatting about QRZ, or we also could be chatting about other platforms right now, particularly QRZ.com. .com or .org? I'm not sure. We'll have to look that one up. And David has brought up some good points about how to use that platform to, what he said, maintain a conversation with others and to communicate with them via email or perhaps their phone number or mail them a letter. And one of the points he brought up was, a lot of people have not filled out their QRZ page, and it's a free thing to do. Unlike going to, ARRL, you need to be a member on ARRL to, populate your field and to check other people's page out. And there's a membership fee to that, not on QRZ. Like he mentioned, there may be a premier membership, but the basics of QRZ lookup are much better than ARRL as far as I know. So let's see if we have any questions for David or any comments. I've got a question. So is QRZ, is it the most popular platform that you know of? Over to you, David.
Yes, it's very handy. Now there are other logging, or because it's a logging platform and a lookup platform. So I have when I'm operating digital modes on HF, I have programs like JT Alert and Grid Tracker, and through those programs, they automatically are linked to QRZ.com. So when I click on a call sign and I'm working a station, I can click on another little box and boom, their whole profile comes up. Where they are, what their hobbies are, what they've ever put in QRZ. And so I can find a lot of information about those people just by a click of a button. So it's very, very handy. Now, of course, there's other services that do the same thing. Hulk, I think Ham Call is one, and there's others. But I would say QRZ.com is the premier call sign lookup database. Back to you, Tom.
Just for the record, it's Jeff. I know it's late, Let's run down the list. Let's see if we have any questions or comments. Let's go to Mike, Kk6 Lpp, Laughlin, Nevada. One more time for Mike. I know he probably jumped over to the Red Eye Net on Keller. That started about 3 minutes ago. We'll give Mike another shot. Kk6 Lp. Yep, he's gone. All right, let's see. OJB, I know you jump over. Let's see if you're still here with us tonight. Are you familiar with the QRZ, and do you participate in it? Any questions for David tonight? Over to you, Joe.
This is Joe, KM6OJB. So, yeah, I use QRZ a lot, trying to look up call signs that I don't hear very well. That's what happens when you got bad ears. So I usually try to, I use it a lot trying to figure out if I got the right call sign because I just catch the person's name. And sometimes it takes 3 or 4 or 5 searches or I have to wait and try to listen again for their call sign. Other than that, I have used it for email addresses and sent out a few emails. I do not have much of a page of my own other than my name, address, and email address. I don't have anything else on there. That's about it. KM6OJB. Back to you.
Okay, very good, Joe. And let's do the second round due to time constraints. We're at 5 minutes after the hour. Let's change this up a little bit. Let's go ahead and check to see anybody that came in on the data modes, Echolink or All-Star, or anyone that came in on distant stations outside of LA and Orange County. Anybody out there that wants to throw a comment out or have a question for David, please come now. Call sign, first name.
Key 6 Echo Tango Charlie.
Okay, W6ETC, go ahead.
Ask David, what type of information should we put on, and shouldn't put on something like QRZ?
Go ahead, David.
Maybe I should call you Jeff to make it even. Well, I wouldn't put my medical record on QRZ. I would put things on there that are of interest to you that you want to communicate to other people. So certainly an email address is probably essential. The other main thing that I would say would be QSL information. So that's kind of at the top of the list. How do you want people to confirm the QSL with you? And I use LOTW, I use Club Log, I do not use EQSL, and I use Direct. So if somebody wants to send me a card, I don't require an SASE, and I say that. I say, if you send me a card direct, I will send you one back. So that kind of information is very important. And after that, I can put in details about my station. I can put in those kinds of things that are not personal information that don't belong in the public view. So that's kind of the way I take it. Tom, go ahead.
Not only that, but I think you can also, I wouldn't use the term, I'm using the term jazz it up, but you can add pictures and where your interests lie, that sort of thing. I think it gives kind of an opportunity to show what you're interested in, and it might encourage other OPs out there to connect with you and to, I think it's a very good thing, and I think your recommendations have a lot of value here. W6ETC.
Okay, very good. Let's go to one more time. Anybody on data modes, Echolink All-Star, or distant stations? If you have a comment or question, we'll open the floor up to you now. Please come now. Call sign first name. Okay, not hearing any. Let's jump into LA. We'll go ahead and go down the list. N6MG Milt, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, listen, on the QRZ page, I agree wholeheartedly with everything that David said. It's a tool, and it's a tool that I use every day, whether I'm listening to a net or whether I'm actually on the air with someone on HF, and I bring up his page just to look and see a little bit more, something I could comment on. Many times I've had people tell me, well, on a digital mode where we're typing back and forth, where I actually know the name of the station that I'm working, which you don't on FT8. I use it, and it's a valuable tool. There's different comfort levels as to what you post on there because, it's the internet, and you put it out there, and it's there for everybody to see. But, again, the only maybe drawback that I see is the guys that put a post office box. But then again, that gets back into the comfort level. And that's the way that is. And it's it's ham radio. Everybody's opinion is different, but that's what mine is. So I'll pass that back to Net. Thank you, Don, for calling the net tonight. N6MG.
Very good. Man of many hats tonight I am. Don, Tom, and now Jeff. Very good. But, you're right, Milt. Use good common sense as your gauge. And everyone's got their comfort level. You're absolutely right about that. Thanks for the comments. And up next, we got Kk6 Lpp. Andrew. Let's see if you're still with us and see if you have any questions or comments on QRZ and filling out that page.
Yeah, I actually went and looked it up. Now, I've looked it up in the past, and I'm actually amazed at how many times my call sign has been looked up. It's close to 300 or way over 200, and I don't know who's looking it up. But anyways, that's fine. I did add to it, and I probably took the lazy approach and said I'm on Facebook. So look me up on Facebook if you want. One of the things that I did do, talking about social media, QRZ, with Facebook is for the ladies, you can put your maiden name down in your profile. Well, you could also put your call sign in where it would go, where most of the females would put their maiden name in. So I put my call sign in, and I've had people look up my Facebook by my call sign, which is pretty neat. So, anyways, it's probably like many things at ham radio, one of the many tools that are out there that are just underutilized by me personally and probably many others. So I do appreciate this hobby and bringing attention to that, and quite frankly, being reminded of things and also learning new things. So thank you very much, Kk6 Lpp.
Interesting there. You are referencing Facebook on the QRZ page. David, have you ever heard of that before?
Well, people can put in anything they wish there. They may have a web page, so they may have like davidgodden.com or something like that, and you can say, for more pictures about, my camping trip to the Ozarks, here's a link. So let your imagination run wild there. So there's all kinds of things you can use that page for, but primarily it's to communicate with other hams and to give other hams information that you really need them to have, which for me would be QSL information and email addresses. So the rest of it is gravy, but those two things I think for me are essential that people have in there. Other than that, the sky's the limit. Back to you, Jeff. This is Kk6M.
Okay, very good. So we'll glean out of you in the future what you think the basics are. What would be the three things that you'd want to put on that page? And I'm thinking one of them is an email address, right? Very good. Let's see. Let's pick up Rick, Kk6EUH, and see if you've got a comment or any questions for Rick. Please come now.
Roger that. Is there a couple of questions? Is there a cost for joining QRZ? And if one changes a call sign, I've been procrastinating about trying to get a vanity call sign. How much of a pain in the tush is it to change your call sign on QRZ? I had one fellow who did get a vanity call sign, and he said that changing the registration on the ARRL site was quite a bit of effort. Kk6EUH.
David, go ahead.
Well, there are levels of membership, like a lot of these sites have. Now, certainly there are free accounts that you can have there, and the minimum information I think displayed in a non-subscribed account would be what the information that's scavenged from the FCC. So if you change your call sign and the FCC has updated your FRN number to a new call sign, that information is automatically linked into QRZ. So if you change your call sign and then somebody looks up your old call sign, the new call sign page will pop up. And so now I don't know how far back that would go. For instance, I don't know if it goes back 40 years for an old call sign, but certainly recently, so if you upgrade your call sign and you search under the old call sign, it will go to the new page with the new call sign that you've been issued, because it looks to the FCC database for that basic information. Does that answer your question? And then back to you, Jeff.
That gives me half of the answer. The other half is, does all of the information that I have entered into QRZ under my existing call sign transfer to the new call sign, EUH?
Go ahead and take it, David.
It remains intact, and so the link to that page is changed. Now, here's a little tip. If you want to look up somebody's page or send it in an email, it's qrz.com/database or DB/call sign. So the way you can send somebody's information from QRZ would be qrz.com/db/their call sign. And that will allow somebody to click on that link and to automatically pull up the page. Back to you, Jeff, Kk6M.
Okay, very good. Rick, does that answer your questions?
It certainly does, and gives me an incentive then to go ahead and put some information in QRZ in advance of seeing if I can get a vanity call sign that would be fun. Appreciate the insight, Kk6EUH.
6MG for a quick one.
Milt, go ahead, N6MG.
QRZ has some kind of a deal going on where they, peruse the FCC for, the updates and everything. And the 3 times that I've been experienced with the vanity calls, QRZ knew the call sign before I did. they got it that day where it trickled down to me the next day. But QRZ, that's it's a very fast tool, and the more you kind of fill around with it, the more you'll know. I just looked. I got 81,250 hits. You get in a contest and things like that happen. So I'll catch up with everybody later. And thanks again, Chris. N6MG.
Okay, I'm Chris now. Very good. So this is Jeff, Kk6 Tango Romeo Charlie, and I'm having a ball tonight. Let's see. We're going to lose the link to the 1.25 or the 220 here in about 10 minutes. Is there anybody coming to us on the 125? Come now. Call sign, first name.
Quick comment.
Sounds like John. Go ahead.
Yeah, the lookup of an alias or your old call sign, that only works until that old call sign gets reassigned to somebody else, which I think is a 2-year period before it gets reassigned. So once that gets reassigned, it will go to the new person when you look it up, AJ6F.
Yep, that does make sense, John. Did you have any questions for David?
No, but I absolutely agree. It's a great resource. I use it quite a bit. I mean, I'm surprised I'm nowhere near Milt, but I've been in it 40 years. But I've got like 8,500 lookups, and I've only been a ham a year. So it surprises me how many people look you up. The other thing of note is you do not have access to the email unless you log in your account. So if you're not a license holder, you won't have access to the email that's put on there. Obviously, addresses, unfortunately, that's public record, and you can look it up through the FAA database as well, AJ6F.
There you go. So you need to be a member of QRZ or sign up and get an account, whether it be a free account or not, and then sign into your account to see others. Any other tricks that we should know, David?
Well, I just checked my account. My first call sign issued 1978, Kk6 Echo Bravo United. I put that in the window, and boom, it pops up with my call sign. My second call sign, King Bravo 6 Mexican Kilowatt, which I got in 1979, that popped up, my new call sign, Kk6M, which I've had for 40 years. It's not a vanity call sign. It was issued to me in March of 1980. So, yes, so you have to be logged in to see other people's information that's not public. And what's not public is the stuff that you enter. So the public information is the stuff that comes from FCC database. But the other stuff, like your email address and any other things that you want to enter in there, will be only accessible to others that have registered and logged in to QRZ.com. So that's a comfort, I'm sure, to many. Back to you, Jeff. Thanks so much for doing the net, and I stay here for the duration. It's David, Kk6M.
Comment?
Okay, let's hang on to the comments for just a little bit. We've got a time constraint. I want to get through this list and give a courtesy to everybody that checked in. Let's check, and Rick, I got you as a comment at the end, okay? First of all, I didn't hear anybody come back to me on being on 125 or 1.25, so we're going to lose that link in about 8 minutes. So if you're on 2 meter, we'll continue on with the net, and you'll be able to hear us. Let's go to Paul, Kc6 Yev. Paul, do you use QRZ, and are you do you have any questions for David? Kc6 Yev, one more time. All right, sounds like we lost Paul there. Chris, Kf6 Lex, over to you.
All right there. Rick, EUH, 250 people have already looked you up on QRZ, and they didn't get a whole lot of info. Mine is pretty minimal, but I've typed into the bio my email. So, if you're a member and it doesn't cost nothing for some minimal account, you can get the email. But if you type it into the bio, anybody can get it. So my email is just typed in and says, "Hi, I'm Chris, and my favorite color is blue, and I like unicorns." I just, type my email address and the year that I was first licensed, because, that's part of the exchange in the sweepstakes contest. So to make sure everybody's clear on that, just those basic minimal info is in my QRZ. And I noticed 6M, David's got his QRZ in every language known to man there. I'm curious how useful that's been. If you got any comments about that. TRC from Kf6Lex.
Yeah, I noticed that also there, Chris. A lot of languages there. David, Kk6M, you want to shed some light on that?
Well, basically, what I've said there, and I've had it translated into many different languages, is that I wanted to thank you for the QSO that we've had, and best regards to you and your family. And so I've had that translated into all the different languages of the countries that I've worked. So whether you're Japanese, Chinese, Taiwanese, or Bangladesh, whatever language it is, Portuguese, you name it, it's there. The same thing is just repeated. So thanks to Translating Wonders, that's how I did that.
Okay, Chris, any other comments or questions?
6M there, great job. Nice hearing you on the Nighttime Net. Thanks for all the good info. Kf6Lex.
Very good. Let's send it over to Jim, KB6TKA. QRZ lookup, are you participating in that? Do you use it as a tool? And do you have any questions for David?
KB6TKA, I use it a few times a week or whenever. And what few contacts I've made, I always send the person an email and to thank him for the QSO that I had with him or her, usually him. And then it works great that way. So then sometimes I wonder where people live, so if I get on there and put the call sign, and then I get a good idea. So other than that, I don't have any more questions. Dave did a good job, and okay, back to you, Homer. Oh, I mean Jeff, KB6TK.
Very good there, Jim. Tom's done it round 2. Tom, do you want to take another poke at it, or are you good with your rounds?
Talking to ETC, I'm good. Thanks, Jeff. W6ETC.
Absolutely, I was. I apologize. I should have used a call sign. I apologize there. Dave, you're on already. Let's see. We got OJB second round. Let's go to John, AJ6F, and see if he's got anything for us. Come now.
No, Doug, I don't. AJ6F.
Very good. Andrew, N3HLC. Have you got anything to add? Would you like to ask Dave a question, or are you using the QRZ lookup? N3HLC. And finally, Rick, thanks for being patient. Go ahead with your comment, please. Let's see, Kk6EUH.
I can pass on that because somebody already took care of noting it. Kk6EUH.
again, thanks for your patience. Appreciate that. Let's see if there are any other check-ins or comments for tonight's Net at 9. Please come now.
Kk6 Joe.
Kd4STN Joe, good evening. Why don't you give us a little first round, tell us how you're doing, and if you've got any comments or questions for David.
Discussion. I'm doing well and was working late, so I caught about half of the net this evening. Very interesting stuff, and I use the Qrz a lot for lookups, and I was just thinking during the discussion what I was doing like 30 years ago when we didn't have all these internet-based platforms for looking people up. I think we just used the cards that we would mail each other because I wasn't familiar with any kind of directory where you could look people up. But anyways, that was just, I was thinking, I was kind of reminiscing back to my early days in ham radio. So very interesting discussion. Congratulations. That's an excellent topic. This is Kd4STN, and I'll turn it over to Net Control.
Okay, very good, Joe. One more check for anybody else that wants to check in or make a comment. Thanks for listening to us tonight, Joe. One more time, check in for comments or check-ins. Come now.
W6LIK with comment, Midge.
Kg6GIA, Dave with a comment.
Link off. Timer on.
There goes our 1.25 link. I heard Midge out there, W6LIK. Good evening, Midge. Thanks for joining us tonight. Why don't you go ahead with your comment and give us a little first rounder, too. Tell us how you're doing.
I'm doing great. Just had a CW class tonight and preparing for some sessions tomorrow. I just wanted to mention that the FCC requires email addresses on all applications starting June 29, 2021. Effective amateur radio licensees and candidates must provide the FCC with an email address on all applications. If no email address is included, the FCC may dismiss the application as defective. I also thought that there was going to be a fine, but I couldn't find that. But I did find that it is required for all. To the FCC, it is required as of September 16, 2020. That's what I wanted to add. Have a good evening, and thank you very much, David. Your information was wonderful. I think you've encouraged and motivated many. W6LIK.
Very good, Midge. Thanks for the check-in, and thanks for the information. David, were you aware that the FCC requires an email address now?
I wasn't. That's great information, Midge. Thank you for that. I don't know if it's going to be scavenged into these databases or not, but we'll see. I'm going to have to go to the FCC sign-in to see if I've given them an email address. All right. I did want to mention that Qrz is a great way for net control operators to run their net. So I usually have a PC open with a Qrz page open in one of the windows. And so as people check in, I type their call signs in for a number of reasons. One, I want to make sure that it's a valid call sign. And two, I want to make sure that I have their name correct. So sometimes, and their call sign correct. So as one of the other people said tonight, if there's a weak signal or something like that, sometimes it's difficult to make out, and sometimes you didn't catch the name correctly. So as a net control operator, I use Qrz quite extensively, and I think it's a great tool to use when you're running a net. So that's another reason to make sure that your information is there correct. Okay, back to you there, Homer, Chris, Don, Tom, and Jeff. Thank you so much. This is David, Kk6 Lpp.
Hey, I'll answer to whatever you got. Very good. Now, a question. When you're typing that in, are you just going to the box that is call sign lookup, or are you using a type of log on QRZ?
No, just I'm looking the call sign lookup. So I just type their call sign in there and hit enter. Of course, I'm logged in, so all the information will come up. So now I did mention that QRZ offers an online log. We didn't really discuss it that much. I know some people that use it extensively. There are some logging programs that you have on your local PC that will automatically upload to QRZ. So as an online log. So as a backup, I think it's a great thing to have in your back pocket. Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never looked into their logging software. Very good. We've got Kg6GI8, Dave out there. Good evening, Dave. It's great to hear you tonight. Hope everything's going well with you. Give us a little first rounder and go ahead with your comment.
Kilo Golf 6, Golf India Alpha, Dave here in Orange. Howdy to the whole group out there, and thank you for bringing up the topic with QRZ. There is an app for those who have smartphones. For me, it was a learning curve because not having anything but a big computer for a while and barely able to get that. So I grew up with the days of writing out QSL cards and sending those out. And so this is kind of neat to have this option, and it's a pretty easy program to use. I have it on my phone so that if I'm out listening, mobile or at work or whatever, and not able to use the radio, I can look people up and get, information and stuff to use for later. It's great for doing the regular net stuff, or just talking, or even for the contesting. I'm going to reset here. Kg6GIA Dave. And I'm a bit of a handicap right now because I barely see out of the one side eye, going for surgery in about 24 hours. So hopefully they'll remedy that. Otherwise, I'm going to learn a whole other skill set for ham radio, which semi-prepared for, but was a good fallback for COVID, and that was just using a big receiver and logging, doing lots and lots of paper logging. There's also great pertinent information on there for those of you that are following the sunspot cycle, and a lot of other pages. And I think somebody else said there was also some, not so much advertisement, but notifications of equipment available for sale or trade. All good stuff. And occasionally a picture of the operator. Kg6GIA, Dave in Orange. Back over to you.
Okay, very good, Dave. And you've got a great signal tonight. I don't know what you've done there, but you are sounding good. And good luck on the surgery. I got a question for you. Did they make you take a COVID test? I've got my wife going in for a procedure, and she had to do a COVID test before she enters the hospital for that. And I'm curious if they did the same for you.
They made me take so many that I thought I was going back into the military, and so far I found out that I'm a technical operator and 30% golden retriever. So and my blood type too. Hi, Kg6GIA Dave, and yes, I have to take paperwork in for COVID too. That's an LA County thing because they're going to do the surgery over there, but if it was done in Orange, less so. Just one of those things we all have to tolerate, I guess. Over to you, Kg6GIA Dave.
Well, know this. We got you in our thoughts and prayers, and I'm sure you're going to be just fine. And give us a full report once you're capable. Very good. Thanks, Dave, for the check-in. That about wraps it up. Let's see if there's any further comments before we close the net. Come now. Okay, this is Jeff, Kk6 Tango Romeo Charlie. You've been listening to the Net at 9 Wellness and Support Net on the Qrz Repeater System, and I know it's not Qrz Repeater System. I shouldn't say that, but whatever. We're playing at a little goose. It's the Catalina Amateur Repeaters Association is what it is. And I want to thank David, Kk6M, for participating tonight. I know it's very late for you, and I appreciate the effort that you made. You were full of a lot of information and helped stimulate this net tonight and get some information out there that maybe people were not aware that was out there. So I'm going to send it over to you for a closing comment, anything you want to say, and then send it back to me, and I'll finish the net up. Over to you, David, Kk6M.